Hello everyone, welcome back to Making a Game, but the top comment decides what I add next. The top comment last time comes from Neko Bridge. Here's a list to work on through the game before next update. A list? Alright, I guess, yeah, you could put 2 or 3 things in one comment. Oh my god. Well then, you've certainly given me a lot to do, but I'm glad to say I have done all of it. All 9 items on your to-do list have been completed. So let's go through them one at a time, starting with secret codes to boost player stat. The way I've implemented this is in the settings, you can now put a code in here. I'm not going to tell you what the secret code is, but if you put the secret code in here, there will be a special effect, only unique to that secret code. I'll give you hints to the secret codes, however. The first one will just say, just try to imagine what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word secret code, and think of that. And that's what the secret code is, the first secret code. Now the second secret code is actually my favorite number. I've hidden this number scattered around a few places in past videos, and there might even be a hint to it in game. That's all I'll tell you there. Each stat does something, well, secret. I won't get into the details, you'll just have to play it once the update is out. And as a reminder, that will happen after episode 30. We're currently in episode 23. So 7 more episodes and we'll get there. And don't worry, I'll try to get them out quickly. Now let's move on to dark mode. Dark mode sounds simple enough, I could just add it to these skins. However, the thing with dark mode is, if you make the background black, these numbers disappear. So actually what I had to do was I've actually updated the whole code for how button skins and backgrounds work. The first thing you'll notice is that using a button skin now affects more than just the buttons. It will also affect panels such as the settings panel. Before, this background would only be the default skin, and now it changes to the same color as the button. And that'll be in any menu, the pronouns menu as well, and in the casino as well. It will all be based on the skin you use. So skins just do more now. And the second thing I've added is the ability for skins and backgrounds to change the text color. So if we scroll through here, we'll actually see the default dark button skin, which sets the text color to white. And I've also added, of course, the dark mode background. And here it is, the dark mode. I think it turned out looking pretty nice. Everything is readable, and it's dark. So I think that is a success. The third thing on our list is add to YouTube. So what I've done is I've added an ad that redirects to the YouTube channel. Let's try to get that right now. And here it is. For all the latest game updates, head to the YouTube playlist to see upcoming updates and make suggestions. It's pretty simple. It's just you click this link, it'll go to my YouTube playlist with all the videos in this series, including this one. And if you go to that link, you'll also notice a new skin unlocked screen that I added, where you can actually select the skin while in this menu, and there you go. Now we've switched it to the subscribe skin, which, you know, it looks like a YouTube subscribe button. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. The next feature I've added is the upgradable max clicks. Now you might have noticed already this upgrade button here above the casino, which is brand new. And when you click it, it will open up this upgrade menu. I really like how these animations turned out. It spent a while to get them working just how I wanted to, where it, you know, squishes the main scene in, but it still works. You can still click on everything. And now we can also buy upgrades. Right now there's just the one upgrade that was recommended, the daily click maximum. You buy it and it will increase the maximum for your daily clicks. So right now it's 110, it can go up to 210 with 300 points. And then you buy it and the cost goes up and you can buy it again. And the important thing is that when you buy things for points, it decreases it from your point total here, but your stats are unaffected. Didn't want to make it so you have to remove your progress to get upgrades. So that's that. The next thing I've added is 2 new fonts, Comic Sans and Monospace. So if we head over to fonts, we'll see there's now a Comic Sans and a Monospace font. This is the Monospace font, makes everything Monospace. Pretty nice, I think. If you look in the fight menus, everything here is Monospace. It looks nice. But you might notice that the Comic Sans one says buy. I saw this as a good opportunity to actually start using the shop. So if you click buy, it will take you to the orb shop. You have to complete the CAPTCHA. And if I head over here to this fonts menu, I can buy the Comic Sans font. It costs 100 orbs. So if you really want to use Comic Sans that bad, it'll cost 100 orbs. And if I click it, There we go. Font unlocked, Comic Sans. And I can just select it right from here. Now everything's Comic Sans. The next thing I've added is alternating buttons give extra points. As you can see, each button now has a multiplier in the bottom right corner. And the way this works is pretty simple. When you click a button, it sets its multiplier to 1, and sets the other button's multipliers to 2. So it's now a good idea to alternate your clicks. Even if you want to just spec into attack, which is what I've seen most people do, it's still better to alternate between attack and health, because you'll still get the same amount of attack and you'll also get some health. So hopefully this helps. The next item on our list is Boss BG and Skins. BG being background, I've added a background here called Royal. It's unlocked after you have defeated a total of 50 bosses. So that would be Ouroboros 7 here. We could defeat Ouroboros 7 times and then defeat Stormius 43 times, and that would unlock it, or it would probably be a little less one-sided than that. But basically 50 total bosses defeated will unlock that royal background, which sets it to a nice purple color. And I've also added buttons for the bosses, of course. You'll see here, there's an orb button. You get this when you defeat Ouroboros 10 times. And this lightning bolts button that I really like. You get it by defeating Stormius 10 times. Pretty simple. Now the next thing, a secret boss that is unlocked through certain amount of skins unlocked. Each skin unlocked makes the boss fight easier. This took quite a bit of time to get working. But now, once you've unlocked 5 skins, which I believe I've done here, we have the default, the moss block, the grid lines, sector A, default dark, and subscribe. That is well more than 5. So we're good to go. If I head this fight menu and go to the very end, there is now a new boss called Cloak. Now, I've already beaten Cloak once just testing, but you'll see here in your stats, you'll have your damage, your health, your healing, and it also displays the number of skins. But there's no stat associated with these skins. So how could having more skins make the fight easier? Well, I'll show you. Here we are in the boss. Like all bosses, it won't start attacking until you attack it yourself, so we can analyze it for a bit. Cloak is made of buttons. When you click a button, it will expose the skin underneath. Some of these buttons will have other buttons underneath them, such as the heal button or the attack button. You'll also notice that some of these buttons have these square eyes on them that follow your mouse around. If you click these, it will actually damage you, and the boss will progress. The boss progress is based on your health, and if I start the fight here, you can see healing. Healing makes the boss go backwards, and once you start attacking, the boss will begin moving forward slowly, very slowly dealing damage to you. It becomes a challenge of clicking the buttons fast enough to stop the boss and also not die. So it's actually important now to invest in health and healing, since you can't just focus on attack, since there's no way to avoid damage completely with this boss. You also want to make sure you don't accidentally click one of these buttons, because if you do, yikes. Boss does a lot of damage, and I think I will probably die here, but I will try. I'm recovering. Alright, we got this. And there we go. We've defeated Cloak. Now when you defeat Cloak, it increases your points by 1,000, so it just gives a nice little point boost. And it also increases your daily click maximum. That's how I was at 110 earlier instead of 100, for those wondering. Now we can go in the upgrade menu, see here, now it's 520 instead of 510. And if I just quickly run out of daily clicks here, we'll see if we restore our clicks with the orbs, we're at 520 now instead of just 100. Now let's go back to Cloak, because I really like how this boss turned out. The first thing is these buttons sliding across the screen, and in alternating directions too.
So it turns out I left something pretty important out of this video on accident. Sorry for the abrupt cut. But I forgot to mention how having more skins actually makes the boss fight easier. The way it works is pretty simple. The more skins you have, the lower the width of the buttons will be. So if you have 5 skins, you'll fit like maybe 3 or so in that sort of horizontal space. And if you have, what did I say? That's with 5. If you have 10, you'd be able to fit twice as many on the screen with the same button movement speed. So you'd end up having more buttons per second to click, which means faster time to attack the boss and heal your damage. So yeah, that's it. Let's get back to past me explaining the rest of why this boss fight's so cool.
That took quite a bit of time to get working correctly, and I hope you all enjoy it, and I can't wait to see you have fun with this in-game once the update's out. And if you're thinking, wow, these buttons around the eyes are actually pretty cool, I wish I could use those as a button skin, well actually you can. Of course, since I added buttons for defeating Ouroboros and Stormius 10 times, I've also added a skin for defeating Cloak 10 times, the exoskeleton skin. You gotta beat Cloak 10 times to unlock it, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now we're on to the final suggestion of this video. And a good suggestion can't have a good joke, so touching grass and Rickroll ad. So I've added 2 more ads to the game. The first ad is the touching grass ad. I'll pull it up in a second, but once you get it, you will unlock the grass background, which I think looks kind of nice. It's got this nice grass color. That's about all. It's a grass color. And here it is. Take a break. Go touch grass. Now you're probably wondering, what sort of redirect would this ad even have? It's an ad to touch grass, but I still put a go button here, because you need to unlock the skin somehow. So what happens if I click this? Well, I'll show you. And now there's one final thing I want to show you, which is the Rickroll ad, of course, the final part of the final suggestion of this probably pretty long video. And here it is. Nothing to see here. You click the button. I think you all know what happens next. I don't think I need to explain further. And you know what? Just to get really evil, if you go to this ad, you will unlock nothing. There is no skin, and no background for unlocking it. It's just, you get nothing, which I think is fitting. So yeah, this was probably the comment with the most content yet. And while it did take a while, I do think these are some really good features to have in the game. So I'm glad I was able to add all these. And if you have your own suggestions for the game, leave them in the comments below. The comment that gets the most likes is what I'll add in the next video. Be sure to like other people's comments too, and maybe like the video. I'll see you next time.